Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for, this is your September bonus reading, actually. This is going to be the main events for the month of September. We're going to look at the Mercury Retrograde in this first row, and there you go. You have the full moon in Scorpio. So there you go. I like that. This whole entire deck is upside down as usual. Next, we're going to look at the full moon in Pisces, and that's going to be on the 10th of September. Then we're going to look at we're just going to look at Libra season in general. The sun enters Libra on the 22nd, but we also have Venus entering into Libra on the 29th. We also have the new moon in Libra on the 25th. So we're just going to look at all this Libra energy, how it will be affecting you there. And then in this last row, we're going to look at that new moon in Libra. And we will also be pulling 3 yes or no question cards at the end. And I will give you time to think of your questions if you need to. But you start here in the area of the Mercury retrograde with this full moon in Scorpio. It says it's time to release negativity. I mean, I think it's always a good time to release negativity. But what I will say is that this top row, it's like Sun, Ten of Swords, Empress, Devil. Happy, not happy, happy, not happy. And literally, as dumb as it sounds, that's how it's popping into my head here for you, Scorpio. I feel that there could be some moments where you're like really happy, and then there's something that steals your happiness. And I feel that this is asking you that during this retrograde, maybe this is being triggered, although this looks like a really good reading in general. Those are like the only 2 bad cards you have here. And what I would say is that it's time for you to remove whatever that is, and that might be what this Mercury retrograde is triggering for you. You have the Sun, the Magician, and the Emperor. The Sun really tells me that this Mercury retrograde could actually be very clear for you. I like to remind people that there's a lot that goes into Mercury retrograde. I know everybody thinks of it as confusion, being tongue-tied like I am today, and we're only in the shadow. We're like, I don't know. We have, more than 10 days to go before it starts. And I'm all tongue-tied, right? And so, I think that's how people think of it. But, depending on where it falls for you in your chart, then, you might be perfectly fine. And I kind of feel there is actually a great deal of clarity for you at this time. And that's the other thing is, if you're working on things that you've been working on for a long time, then a retrograde can actually bring a lot of clarity, can bring a lot of answers because you're kind of like going back over things, revisiting things, or revisiting the energy, and that's where the clarity comes from. So I feel there's a lot of clarity for you this month. You also have the Magician. The Magician kind of says you can create your own reality at this time, and the Magician also says use your words to create the things that you want, and so that's what I would be doing with the Magician. I kind of feel that it's also saying there are multiple tools for you to use. I always say, he has mastery over all the suits in the tarot, and it kind of says if one thing isn't working in your life, one way of doing things, try something else. And this is a very common energy at this time. I believe that it's because of really Uranus and Taurus, but that energy in itself makes it so that we should probably be doing things other ways. But what I would say is I kind of feel that this is saying that you need to look at all your tools. I would also say that he's pointing down to the 5 of Wands. So this could say that in any conflict that you are experiencing in your life, or if you're experiencing competition in an area of your life, maybe everybody does things the same way, and you could do things differently with the Magician. So, if you have a business, for example, and maybe you have competitors, maybe there's a different way to do things that kind of wipes out the competition, or maybe just puts you on a totally different playing field altogether. And I definitely get that feeling here with the Magician, that if you do your research, you'll probably find something. You also have the Emperor and a lot of people have been getting the Emperor, which is interesting, but you have the Emperor and the Empress showing up in your reading. So this could be a divine counterpart coming in for you if you're looking for love, or just a very deep connection coming in for you in general. So I do feel there is just a deep connection coming in for you here with the Emperor and the Empress. I also feel that for some of you that you're kind of mixing these 2 energies together. It's interesting because in the row with the Empress, you have this here and now card. I'll show you right now. And it almost reminds me kind of the High Priestess. It's like that lady is sitting right in between the past and the future. But she's staying very perfectly present. And sometimes I think when we mix these 2 energies together inside of us, the Emperor and the Empress, that we are kind of becoming fully integrated. And the High Priestess, I know you don't have the High Priestess here, but bear with me. The High Priestess is an energy of being fully integrated, being able to work with all energies that exist. So that can make you very successful, obviously. But let's see here. With the Sun, you have the Four of Pentacles, definitely letting go of something. Four of Pentacles is holding on too tightly to something. Could be something that once made you happy, but again, maybe there are some things that are making you not so happy about a situation. With the Magician, you have the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a card of resourcefulness. Again, with this Mercury retrograde, I would definitely pay attention to your finances and like financial balance and things like that, all the Libra energy, right? So I would make sure that you're kind of giving to things that give back to you. I would also make sure that you're not like overspending or anything like that. Again, I don't think it's a bad month for money at all. I would just say make sure you don't overspend. With the Emperor, you have the Queen of Cups. This could be your energy. It's funny because, as I always say to you, Scorpio, I read this as you. I mean, to me, you are the Queen of Cups energy. And I know most readers read her as Cancer, but again, I've always read her as you, and I feel this is you showing up in a very strong position. I kind of feel it wouldn't be a bad idea to take action on anything that you want to take action on this month. Again, you could have, even though it's a Mercury retrograde, if you've been planning something since before the retrograde, or if you've been working on something since before the retrograde, I feel like it's perfectly acceptable to take action here. And again, clearly, it's going to lead to a lot of abundance going in this direction here. Next, you have this Destiny Path card. So I feel like you are kind of on your path to your destiny, right? This is showing up where in the area of the full moon in Pisces that we will be having on the 10th. So I feel for a lot of you, a lot of it has to do with destiny. You even have the Ten of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Five of Wands. Ten of Swords could be a complete ending. So you could be ending one thing to continue on your path or your journey. Ten of Swords to me represents something that is dead, done, over with in our life. Something that has kind of run its course. Something that we have to completely move past. And he's making a symbol right here with his hand. It represents a blessing or receiving blessings. So I actually feel like there are a lot of blessings coming in for you. Even if you are letting go of something like that, you have that card there. It's time to release negativity. Clearly, you're releasing something that is negative from your life. You have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, of course, everybody knows it as a card of marriage and celebration. But it is also a card of releasing, because those people are on the other side of this portal right here. And so it's kind of like a card of crossing through that threshold that you see right here. It's kind of like a finish line on this card. So this card can represent kind of completing cycles, ending things. Really, it comes up a lot maybe when we're finishing projects, for example, in our life, or wrapping things up, getting ready to go to the next stage, right? So, and also 11/11, so destiny, right? So I feel for a lot of you, you're kind of wrapping things up. For some of you, you might be seeing this as conflict or creating conflict in your life. There's something about this, Scorpio. I've just noticed, I've only done 3 of these readings so far. And what I'm noticing is that it seems to me like a lot of us could be triggering some conflict in our life, or we could be triggering something that is kind of causing conflict in our life. But I feel like the conflict that we could be creating or triggering is just something that other people don't agree with. Meaning, you could be quitting your job and going to another one. Maybe your boss doesn't agree with that. Who cares? You could be leaving a person who isn't right for you. Maybe they don't agree with it. It's causing conflict, right? There's something about this, and I'm noticing it now in your reading. I feel for a lot of you, this right here is kind of like the symbol of mental alchemy, right? The circle with the triangle and the square inside of it, right? So I feel that you have the power mentally to kind of control your own destiny at this time, and I would make sure to use that. I would say also trust yourself, here with this energy, because you probably know better than anyone else what to cut out, what to do. You have the Ten of Swords, Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is telling me that you could be regretting cutting something out of your life. And so what I mean by that is you've been thinking maybe about cutting something out of your life, but you haven't quite cut it out yet. I feel like this is saying that you won't regret it. So you might think that you're going to regret cutting something out of your life, but I really feel like you won't. So don't be afraid to do it. With the Four of Wands, you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is like charging forward. A lot of people have been getting this rushing energy. And I think, again, sometimes that we have some moments in life where we just kind of want to get away from the energy. And again, I kind of feel that for you here with this Five of Wands, where you kind of just want a decision to be made. Maybe you want to break up with someone and you just want to run away from it. It's like you want to get away from it. But I really feel that there could be a lot of actual benefits in learning from it and kind of not running away from the problem. I'm not really, that's not maybe the best way to put it, because I don't really feel like you're necessarily running away from a problem. That's probably not the right way to word this for you here, is what I would say, Scorpio. But I do feel a need to just kind of like look at it and say, this is part of life. Maybe I just have to break up with this person if that's what you're doing, or whatever you're doing. Maybe you just have to quit a job and you can't keep everyone happy. And I kind of feel a lot of you could be making one of those decisions. I don't think that's for all of you. I just feel it's for some of you. With the Five of Wands, you have the Three of Pentacles. Again, if there was conflict, I mean, I feel like you could be seeing that you just can't work together in a situation for some of you. For others, I feel you're moving on to situations where you can work together with the people that you're working with. So this to me has a lot to do with work. For others, it definitely could be love. And again, I feel like this is what you're trying to create, is the Three of Pentacles. That's what I feel intuitively. I don't think you have that yet. Three of Pentacles is building or creating something of quality. It's meant to be a card that represents great quality, or building something of quality, building something that's amazing together. If this is a relationship, if it's not a relationship, if it's like a business or a career or your job, you're wanting to be part of something bigger. And I kind of get that feeling here, where it's like you don't just want a job. I feel you want something that you kind of feel like you had a part in doing, and something much deeper that I feel you're looking for. Even next, in the area of just Libra season in general, you have this Here and Now card. Of course, I feel it would be great for you to be present at this time, but for some reason, I was really getting these kind of like High Priestess vibes on this card. That's not really what she represents, but again, I read intuitively, and that's kind of what I'm getting here, is more of this like High Priestess-y kind of energy on her. But I'm talking about the High Priestess in the sense that she represents a fully integrated being. She knows all the energies, every single energy that exists, positive and negative. She also understands that there really is no such thing as negative energy. Well, I mean, there is, but she understands how it can be used and transmuted. You have that Destiny Path card, again, mental alchemy, transmuting energy, turning a negative into a positive. So she understands that, and I kind of get that for you here. Like I said, I feel this is asking you to not necessarily kind of run away from these energies, but integrate them, whatever they may be. You have the Empress, the Six of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Really good energy for you. So Libra season in general is probably going to be very positive for you. The Empress is definitely good for creation. Whatever you're creating, I feel, could be very successful. The thing is, I am getting pregnancy here. So number one, if you're not trying to get pregnant, I would be careful. But if you are, go for it, as I always say. But on top of that, for all of you, even if you can't get pregnant, right? I feel that you could be gestating an idea. And so you are pregnant, but maybe with an idea or a plan. And I feel this is really encouraging you to kind of take care of that plan and to treat it as best as you possibly can, whether it's like a business idea, maybe you want to write a book or kind of work on a creative project. I feel treating it like a baby is going to be very beneficial for you with this energy. I do get a very intuitive sense from this part of the reading as well, so I would trust your intuition. You have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a card of success, so I do feel that there's a lot of success coming in for you at this time. I do feel this is financial success for some reason. For some of you, I feel like saying that something is coming in at the right time. I don't really, those are kind of like the words that I'm getting here on the Six of Wands, is that something's coming in at the right time. That's all I keep hearing, I guess. Yeah, I thought there was more to that, but there isn't. And what I mean by that is that if you've been waiting for some money, I think the money is becoming available for you at the right time. I also feel like I have a weird story popping into my head. I'm not going to lie here, Scorpio. I feel like for some of you, maybe you're waiting for approval on something like a loan or, it's something having to do with money. I feel like this is saying, don't accept their first offer. I feel that there's something that could be worked for here is what I'm getting here, Scorpio. Like maybe they come to you with certain terms that you don't necessarily agree with. I feel like this is saying that can be negotiated, or again, Mercury Retrograde, double check if you're like applying for a loan or applying for an apartment or something. I feel like something could be found here that's almost like a gift. Maybe not a gift, but it's like, I don't know, maybe you find out that they are charging too much for the apartment that they're trying to get you to sign up for, right? And then you get the price lowered or something. Like I feel, for whatever reason, I get like negotiation vibes here, or just the need to just not accept things without looking into them first. Maybe you've had a history of doing that, where you just accept things and you get like stuck in something. And I'm not calling you out here at all. I'm just saying that I feel there could be a gift where just like taking the time to double check something that has required approval, there's something better coming out of it. You have the Ace of Cups as well. This is like your emotions overflowing. I do feel a lot of happiness coming in for you in general at this time. So seems to be, I mean, pretty much everyone has had really good readings. I'm kind of surprised because I thought this retrograde was going to be a little bit more heavy than it actually is. But, seems pretty good. So I like that. Could be love. I don't see like a ton of love showing up in the reading. Of course, I don't try to force my readings to be love readings. But what I would say is if you want love, there could be love here. And you do have the Emperor and the Empress, so there could be a divine counterpart, kind of in your energy, right? With the Empress, you have the Nine of Swords. Definitely get out of your head. I would do your best to control your thoughts this month, mostly because you have the Magician here, which really says, and it's showing up in that row that says release negativity. The Magician, he has those flowers in front of him. He understands that he needs to focus on positivity. He needs to focus on flowers. He needs to focus on good things in his life to attract good things and not negative things. I feel the Nine of Swords is kind of like a never-ending story that you're trying to escape from. Remember what I said at the beginning of the reading: Sun, Ten of Swords, Empress, Devil. I feel this is saying don't repeat a cycle, whether it's with a person, a business, a job, doesn't matter. There's some sort of cycle coming to an end. With the Six of Wands, you have the Nine of Cups, wishes, wish fulfillment. Did you have, oh no, you only have it once, but you have the Nine of Cups here, so I feel there's like a lot of happiness and joy coming in for you. I would say make a wish, but also, again, I would focus on the positivity. He is, I always say he represents soaking in an energy. He represents really kind of living in positivity so that you can have positivity. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Hermit. The Hermit is like climbing to the top of the mountain. Everybody, I'm pretty sure every single sign has had the Hermit this month. And it kind of makes sense. Mercury retrograde, kind of like a withdrawn time, kind of a period where introspection is definitely always very beneficial during Mercury retrograde. So, there could be a lot of rewards, or it could just be a lot of learning in kind of looking at the things that you're working on or dealing with in your life. Next, in the area of the new moon in Libra on the 25th, you have this raccoon spirit. I feel for some of you clearly that there could be a person wearing a mask. This looks like the truth coming out to me because you have the star. And you also have the sun here as well. So it's like you're understanding a cycle. And this could be with a person, and it could be involving the truth. I would say that it could be an earth sign that you were dealing with that maybe is a liar or there was lying here, or toxic behavior. So some of you could be exposing the truth here. For others, I feel that this is talking about blending in with the energy because you have the Nine of Cups. Again, the Nine of Cups, the guy on the Nine of Cups is meant to look chubby because he's about to have a feast. And he's meant to look chubby because it represents the fact that he's had a feast in the past. He's had a feast before. So it kind of represents needing to be in an energy before you can have an energy, right? And so the best way to do that is to blend into the energy. It's like saying that if you want love, you have to experience the energy of love before you can have love. So I would go do something that you love. I would go be in abundance if you want abundance. And that's what I'd be doing here. You have the Devil, the Star, and the Four of Swords. I do feel that for some of you, this could be a person that you could be removing from your life. I did also just get that this could be a Capricorn coming in for you. So for some of you, it could be a Capricorn or someone who has Capricorn in their chart, like pretty heavy as far as love is concerned. So if you're looking for love, definitely possibility. But I would be careful of repeating a negative cycle with, anything that has kind of burnt you in the past. I always say it's like, this kind of energy reminds me of, when your mom says, don't touch the stove, and you touch the stove, you get burnt. And so I feel like this is saying, she's already said, you've already been burnt once. So I'm your mother now, and I'm telling you, don't touch the stove again. And that's what this reading is saying, or part of the reading, I should say. You have the star. Something is coming to light. I felt that immediately. Not really what the star represents, but I do feel for some of you that something is you're becoming aware of the truth of a matter for some of you. I also do feel that there is a lot of positive attention here. You have the sun and the star. Pisces also had both, which is pretty interesting to have like two signs get the sun and the star. I don't see it that often. And you have the Empress, glow up vibes. And this looks like something that you're probably working towards. I think that, again, to me, it's cheating because I think everybody is working on their own little glow up, right? Because we're entering into the age of Aquarius, or we're already in it, depending on what you believe, right? And to me, Aquarius, the star card, the universe wants us all to be our own little star. The universe wants us all shining our own inner light, very bright, sharing stories, doing, doing all these things to get positive attention, or inspiring other people is another great thing we can do with the star energy. And so I feel like anything you could do, if you're like starting a business or starting a YouTube channel, it's like inspiring other people could be very beneficial for you. You also have the Four Swords. Four Swords is a card of recovery, so I do feel some of you could be kind of recovering from a tricky, sticky situation here, but let's see. With the Devil, you have the Fool card, so I feel like it's time for you to take a leap of faith away from a person or a situation for a lot of you. Definitely new beginning. With the Star, you have the Eight of Swords. Time to shine your bright inner light with this energy. So I feel it is time for you to shine bright with this Eight of Swords. And the other thing is, I just get like this holding back energy is what I would say to you. It's like sometimes I think maybe, the top situation, the top row that we were talking about, this cycle, sometimes I think maybe we think this is the best I can do. Love, business, or otherwise. And I feel like this is saying, no, you have the Star inside of you. You are capable of much more. I feel this reading is encouraging you to do much more. With the Four Swords, you have the Lovers. Yeah, again, for some of you, you're picking a new path, and I would definitely encourage you to do that here with this energy. So I think it would be very, very wise of you to pick the new path in this reading. It's actually, I made this way more complicated than it needs to be as usual, right? To me, I feel like this reading is saying pick the new path in your life, and especially if you're holding on to something that you feel is the best you can do. I feel like you don't know how good you can do. It's much better than you think. So that's what I'll say there. But Scorpio, let's see here. We're going to do cards 1, 2, and 3. So these are going to be yes, no, maybe questions, actually. So 1, 2, 3. Feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think of your questions. I get a lot of comments from people saying the 3 questions confuse them and all this other stuff. If that is the case, do not do the 3 questions. This is not meant to be confusing. You're putting way too much pressure on it if that's the case for you. Not a criticism. Just tarot should not have that much control over your life. For question number 1, 9 of Cups. Yes. So yes, plain and simple. For question number 2, I would say yes as well. So it seems like things are rebalancing, and I don't know, I feel like Libra season, started Libra season, 22nd, probably going to be really good for you. And for question number 3, I would say yes as well. I feel like you already know the answer to this question as well. So yes. But this looks pretty good here, Scorpio. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.